Israel's occupation military has announced that it had killed Ali Shadmani, Iran's wartime chief of staff and one of the top country's commanders, in a targeted strike in central Tehran. Brigadier General Efi Defrin, an Israeli army spokesperson, said the operation was based on precise intelligence. Shadmani, described as the closest military figure to Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, had held the position for just 4 days after replacing his predecessor, who was killed in Israel's initial air assault. Foreign Minister Gideon Saar praised the operation during a briefing to the Knesset's Foreign Affairs and Defense Committee. Israel's ambassador to the United Nations, Danny Danon, has said that Iran has launched over 1,000 missiles and drones at Israeli civilians in the past 48 hours, describing the attacks as part of an escalating confrontation. Speaking to reporters at the UN, Danon said Israel has significantly pushed back Iran's nuclear program in recent days and pledged that operations against Iranian military infrastructure would continue. Danon confirmed Israel is targeting sites linked to the Revolutionary Guard Corps while emphasizing efforts to minimize civilian casualties.
We will continue with our efforts to push back the program. It's not a short operation.
The Embassy of Iran in New Delhi has stated that Israel's recent military attacks on Iran have resulted in the deaths of 224 civilians, including women and children, and injuring 1,257 others. Describing the strikes as blatant acts of aggression, the embassy condemned Israel's violation of Iran's territorial integrity and sovereignty, saying the attacks targeted several locations, including residential areas. The statement described the military attacks as a clear violation of international principles, regulations, and deeming the actions unlawful under Article 2.4 of the UN Charter. The embassy emphasized Iran's right to respond in accordance with Article 51 of the UN Charter, reserving its legitimate and legal rights to respond properly and timely to these aggressions. A large plume of black smoke rose over the central Israeli city of Herzliya following another round of Iranian missile strikes as the conflict between Israel and Iran entered its 5th day. Footage from the scene showed damaged buses, craters in a parking lot, and emergency crews responding amid wailing air and sirens. There are no casualties in these places, said a police deputy chief in a live statement, adding that the damage was being assessed. Transport Minister Miri Regev urged the public to strictly follow safety protocols. The foreign ministers from 21 countries, including Egypt, Jordan, United Arab Emirates, Pakistan, and Turkey, have condemned the Israeli attacks since June 13, 2025. That came in response to escalating tensions due to Israeli aggression against Iran. They emphasized the need to respect international law, national sovereignty, and peaceful conflict resolution. The ministers also called for a nuclear-free Middle East and urged a return to negotiations as the only sustainable solution to the Iranian nuclear program. Conflict, calling it a threat to global stability. Speaking at the European Parliament, the monarch said there is no clear limit to where the fighting could spread, adding, "This is a threat to people everywhere. Ultimately, this conflict must end." His remarks came as heightened tensions following Israeli strikes on Iranian targets, raising fears of broader confrontations.
Which threaten a dangerous escalation of tensions.
The Kremlin has said that Israel appears uninterested in mediation efforts as its conflict with Iran intensifies, warning of what it described as a global escalation. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov urged both sides to show maximum restraint and noted that unpredicting of the situation now is in its fifth day. Russia reiterated its offer to mediate but acknowledged Israel is currently not open to a peaceful resolution. Peskov added that the Russian embassy in Tehran is assisting Tehran to Russian nationals with evacuation efforts via Azerbaijan. The Chinese foreign minister has accused U.S. President Donald Trump of adding fuel to fire in the escalating military conflict between Israel and Iran, warning of the negative impact on regional stability. This comes as China has initiated the evacuation of its citizens from Israel and Iran while advocating for beginning peace talks to mitigate regional unrest. Foreign Minister spokesperson stated that embassies and consulates have been assisting those wishing to leave since the conflict began, although specific efforts were not detailed.
中方呼吁有关各方，特别是对以色列有特殊影响的国家。